Didn't realize we were gonna,
I
I should have known.
think every
better.
time now, right?
We can turn it off.
Yeah, no,
But
it's okay.
Jennifer and,
We want
the group
everybody
won't
to
see us
be,
on there.
yeah, it's
okay.
good. So where are we starting? Zoomed all in?
Mm,
Everybody's here that's gonna be here? There's mics around and so forth?
Yep, everybody's on. Peggy's on virtually. So she's
Hi,
there.
Peggy.
Before I think
Hi,
have
Peggy.
for this for travel.
Oh, sure.
And then
Where it
there's your
says
check.
where the,
Yeah.
I was hoping I just put that.
And then your check and then all the backup documents for that.
June
16th?
17th.
17th.
It's all right there.
Yeah, I never know. I always mess with
Okay,
the
that's
dates.
all from you.
Thank you so much.
You want to- oh.
I do have a 10 a.m. appointment, so if I could just 5 minutes
Get moving here.
or before 10 to 5 minutes before.
Okay, well, let me get my shirt settled in. All right, there we go. So we might as well I'll call to order, and as far as everybody who's here, we have Peggy and we have
Jennifer and Stephanie from Yakima Valley Tourism.
hi, girls. Good morning. And of course, here in the room, Julia Hart. And
Amy
Rubio
and
and
Lindsay Griffin.
Lindsay Graff. So nice quorum here. Okay. So on our active agenda here, we're going to discuss some changes to the cometothesun.com, our website. And was there anything that Stephanie wanted to say about, just kind of to remind us of what we're doing?
Well, we received feedback from the committee last year that there were some changes that were requested. Took all of those down in notes, gave them over to our marketing department, which Jennifer is the head of the department. And then our graphics and web developer is the one that implemented the changes. The one email that I sent to you with the list of the different things that he had made changes to, those are the things that I was hoping we could go over with Jennifer today. So that's why she's here to help with that. But didn't want to go live with anything until you guys had a chance to look it over and had any thoughts or ideas about what could be changed here, what you wanted to keep, that kind of thing. So that's what we're here for today.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you all took a look at the email that Stephanie sent out.
I didn't receive it. That's what I looked and you said it on this day. I could not find it. So I've been looking for it since you told me, and I can't find it. And so
Well,
I had started a email list in Outlook, and it went to the Sunnyside addresses that I have for you guys, not to like Amy's ANA one or Lindsay, your one for Rotary.
So we're to our
That's why-
city.
yeah, see, I haven't been able to get into the city one for a while.
Do you want me to
why.
have them reset your
Okay.
password?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to just forward them to you right now, Amy and
Yeah,
Lindsay?
yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll forward
There,
them to
you
you.
guys actually have a copy of it.
We
right
have a
here.
copy in our
Yeah.
packet.
Oh,
so-
do you have the list of the changes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
sent,
Okay.
and if you guys log in, it's attached to the notice that I sent the other day.
Right. So I did take a look at it, and then I looked at the Come to the Sun link that was provided. And it's looking really good, I thought. Is there a way for us to look at it
Yeah, I'll look at
this
it
morning?
Yeah.
Jennifer, the changes that Daniel has suggested in that list that he sent to me, have those been implemented and are they live on the site right now, or is that the same website right now?
I have a few here. He's the one who has his hands all over this. I believe so. If you look in
Okay.
the upper, on the top nav, you can see the what to do and where to stay. So those
Yeah.
are the headings that are in that list with the individual bullet points underneath. So if you were to click, the what to do, it's not live here on the image that you sent, but all of these subtopics would be in those individual pages.
So if you were to look what to eat, click on that, you would see.
All American, Mexican, bistros and cafes, Asian, delis and sweets. Yeah.
Okay.
And did everybody have a chance to look at so he sent the link that you can't, there's no clickable links on the website itself, but it's the cometothesun.com/2022/design. And that'll give you the new look and feel of it. And then all the lists here is where he made the changes to.
So we have that on the screen here.
Okay.
He hasn't completed all of those. He wanted to make sure before he went ahead and built those, make sure that we're all good with the list as it stands, the site plan that he has laid out there.
There was one page that I wasn't sure and I wanted to hear other people's feedback, and that was on the dates of events happening. And instead of it being a calendar like January, February, March, it's just got like for this weekend, and that's it. And I'd like to see this used for other things, like when we're putting flags out on the Memorial Garden for Memorial Day and things like that. When the pool opens, when the pool closes. So should this be in a format like this, or should this be in a calendar format? What do you guys think?
The public can submit any
Yes,
of the new
that's-
events.
So if, and that's something we need to make sure that people know out in the community, that if there is the VFW guys want to put flags on the cemetery for Memorial Day, then they need to submit that information so we can put it on our
And
calendar.
it was.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They would need to do that. If Sunnyside Lions are doing the 4th of July, they need to submit that information, which I see is not there, but that's my.
Right. So many. But what
But
do you
there's
think
a
about
lot of events in the town that people are doing. You're right, like the tacos for boards could have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
I go back in it, but
agree. Usually, visiting other sites, when you see a calendar, it just seems to be
Yeah.
easier for people when they can click on the calendar and it would say June in a calendar format, and then they click on an arrow and it would take them to July, different months.
Yes.
That does seem to be easier for people.
Than
I know
having
when I see that on
150,
other sites,
yes.
it just it's easier to
Right.
stick in my head when I see a calendar format.
One of the reasons to do it like this is that oftentimes for a destination, there are several events potentially on the same day, and then
Yeah.
that calendar block becomes awfully crowded. Doing it this way, we list them out individually so people can handpick the events that they want to look at.
And that
But
makes
by
it,
clicking the date of the event that has, other events in that event, couldn't we have that data when they then click on, June 16th, they're going to go
Sure,
to
yeah.
everything that's happening on June 16th?
Well, I mean, sure, but if they only see the first event listing and everything else is buried down below because the little square isn't big enough, they're not going to know what else is there unless they click individually every single day to find out what events are on those days. Does that make sense?
It does. But this
was
is going
like-
to get mighty long if we use it for the things that we're hoping people submit. This is, 200 items to scroll through in a non-calendar format might be difficult as well.
Okay, these events that you're talking about, they are tourism specific.
Yes,
Yeah,
like
okay.
when the airport has
So-
flights and yeah, lots of tourism related events.
so
What
things
is
like,
it, what is it when you say the tours, the flights? So like the flight schedule for the airport, or are they
No,
actually
oh,
doing
no,
like
no, no.
flybys where you watch?
They have a
You can
special day.
gather. Okay, gotcha.
out of
And
there.
the
do.
same thing, so the thing with the flags for the memorial, that's something that people gather for as folks walk out and they place the flags. It's an
And that's-
actual organized activity type thing, okay?
Yeah.
but that's not actually a tourism specific event. That's more, that's really not a tourism thing. Whereas
We
with the festivals, we want people to come to town for those things.
Yeah, we did have a guest that wanted to go out and help place flags, as well as, just seeing the Veterans Memorial in downtown. Another thing to add to this event list. So we did use it for tourism. but you're right, it's mostly for the community, but there are many other events that are directly tourism related.
I guess maybe what we could do, when I have somebody new that I'm hiring in to do the events for us and stuff like that, one of the things that I try to help them understand is that whatever we post to the website, think about it as in, if you're going to travel somewhere, is that something that if you go to your favorite vacation destination or travel somewhere to get away, is it something that you're going to do when you get to that place? So that really helps to kind of weed out what's between, the difference between the tourism and then the community kind of stuff. I guess what I would like is maybe that responsibility is on one of you to decide what you want as a tourism related event on this website, not leaving it up to us because perhaps we have a different mindset. And maybe leave that up to you guys to let us know, or have somebody be the clearinghouse for that.
Yeah, I
What do you
agree. I
think
think
about
that there are more community events that could be on our city website, and I think that's something that we need to agree that what needs to be only on the tourism website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
And-
help us.
And there's a link, I think, more coffee. If there's a link to, from the city website to the Come to the Sun, that will give you more information about a specific event and back and forth. I mean, so like, we have the swim championships, if we get to have them. That would probably be something that is, you would want in both places, on the city website, and then also on the
tourism.
The Come to the Sun.
So we
website.
have the visit, and that one takes you come to the sun. And then if there's any events that we are putting on, or the VFW lets us know something, we'll put them here in the recent news so that people see it when they first come in.
Right.
So you're saying you want.
So that is already linked in. I mean, we just need to utilize it more, perhaps, or people are utilizing it.
Are they putting a section of photos of the events? That's
That's a good idea.
just kind of snippets of the farm implement parade
Or the farmer's market.
farmers market, just kind of people see, oh, they have this or that, kind of something attracting to want them to come. Just brief
For sure, make them
photo.
want to click on the link and see what it's about if there was a picture there. That's a great idea.
Kind of like a gallery of the event.
Yes.
Looking at that right now because it looks like, you have your the really pretty picture on the homepage, and then if you look at, so for the farm implement parade, we have it on there. December 3rd, you click on that, there's the really pretty picture there. There's the parade route, who the sponsors were, which it looks like this is from last year.
Yeah.
And then there's a really
maybe there
nice
could
photo on
be,
the bottom.
You see where it says parade entry and all that? Maybe there could be a link, you can click it and see photos of the event.
I see what you're saying. I see what she's saying. So
Well,
if somebody visits this part of it, they might want to see more pictures than just what is up there to see if it's something they really want to go to. It might make them go, like a link that they could see more, like if it said photo gallery of past events, and they could see what it looked like in previous years.
And
Is that kind of what
particularly
you're-
on the
Yeah,
day.
Or maybe somebody
I can't see if I'm interrupting anybody. I apologize.
or maybe somebody that did come to the event and they want to see maybe their grandson or somebody was in that picture and they want to share it, look, they're on the website kind of thing, and it attracts more people. Cause I see it when they do it with any school district, anybody that posts, they reshare that.
Okay.
And I think the food list has to be updated as far as the restaurants. I know, is it Green Olives? No, I believe they're no longer
Yeah, they
closed.
closed. Yeah. they closed.
We just went through the brochure, Elizabeth and I, so there's some things that need to be changed, and I just haven't given them to
Okay.
them,
okay.
but
Okay.
either way, whenever you guys see something, please let me know.
Yeah.
Because I know Juice May's not on there, and that's really popular.
So that was another question that somebody, that the bowling alley, the owner there, he says, how come I'm not on the list of what to do in Sunnyside?
Yeah.
I have food. And so I guess it's up to the committee to determine how do we want to, what qualifies again for someone to be on there? Like what, can they just call in and say, hey, add me on? That's what I think. but-
Yeah.
Well, I think that there has to be some participation from the community
Right.
wanting to be on the tourism listing of events and things to do, places to eat. You know, and I would think like the bowling alley, if we were gonna put them in a place, you know, we could put them in under
Activities or what
The
to
very
do.
best
what
of
to do.
Sunnyside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what to do, or under best of Sunnyside. I'm gonna look at those. I was noticing too that Daniel's out on Yakima Valley Highway, that it looks like they're closed.
They're closed, yeah.
Yeah. So
They
there's-
are.
which
Yeah.
is- There's still a lot of people place to eat.
Maybe have like, I guess what major like stores, because I know when people come into town, they're like, what is there? What do you guys have?
You mean for shopping?
Yeah, so you know, it's nice to be like, we have a Safeway, we have a Walmart, we have a grocery outlet. You know,
Maybe
there's Rite Aid.
Shopping tab.
Maybe a
Yeah.
shopping tab? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah,
So that would
Maybe under
go
what to do.
underneath what to do, yeah.
Yeah, what to do, be under what to do.
Well, even the pool opening date, the pool closing date, when the museum has special dates, when the Arts Commission has special
Well-
dates, movies in the concert, you know, or movies and concerts at the park, all those dates can be added. And while they are community events, they are also very much tourism events. Whenever anything like that's going on, we send our, tourists that are staying at the park there, and they enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Well, the museum, it says, you know, the museum here, and history, is that one that we have in here? I'm just gonna go back. Featured events. So the featured events actually are our festivals. So other events, signature events, those are our signature events. So that's one thing. You know, other things under what to do kinds of things, you know, swim at the pool, open June, bomb to August, what, you know, maybe that's under the activity, you know, what to do.
I think anything that has to do with like the pool or
The
things
museums.
like that, that's already covered in our
Yeah.
Parks and Rec page. If let's say the museum did up another pop-up, I think that should go on the tour,
Right.
on the what
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but if somebody was on the Come to the Sun website, just on that website, are they, is there somewhere that they'd say, oh, look, they do have a Parks and Recs?
But
Say
I
they
feel
don't
like
even
that would be a double
double?
work for staff, having to put that information on the Come to the Sun page and the regular page is
Don't
my
we want
input as
One
staff.
page for people? I mean, these are visitors, they're not going to go to multiple pages. We want
Right.
them to go to the Come to the Sun page, not go to Come to the Sun and the City of Sunnyside and the Parks and Rec.
Well, the city of Sunnyside has the Parks and Rec all in one. Stephanie, what do you think about that? Having the pool dates and things on the Come to the
Do other
Sun
cities
tourism
have those
page
things on there?
and on our regular website?
Well, honestly,
I just think it may be
it's up
too
to you
much.
guys. I think we should just defer to you because I do agree that the Parks and Rec site is probably going to be the best, but you know, really you guys are the decision-making seat here. And when thinking about what the criteria is for what's a tourism related event, you know, if there's when you have the pool opening, if there are specific activities rather than it just having open hours posted on there, that's what's going to make it be an event. And if there's under what to do, we could have it be as a swimming, topic and link to the city's website, because then there's not that margin for error with pool hours changing, or if there's a closure for whatever reason. I think that would probably be better if that's okay with you guys.
Yes.
That makes sense to me.
Okay. And then also if there, for, you know, for people to come to the pool, if it's got a slide, if you guys have, if anybody comes in and does shaved ice for the kids on certain days, or, you know, if there's any other special activities like that, we can certainly put that in the text to make it more attractive for people to want to take the kids to the pool kind of thing. You know, whatever you guys think.
I think, how about if we change the enjoy a day in the park here on this page?
Okay.
This is a map that shows you the parks, but I've already got overwhelmed with where are the parks?
Yeah.
So maybe change this one to Parks and Recreation,
At
'Cause
the, at
the
the
top-
top, yeah, at the top, it does say Parks and Recreation.
because there's the museum. And maybe we can,
Because
It
if
looks
you,
like the museum is in
Oh,
my
yeah,
head
it's just
twice.
Parks and Recreation.
yeah, on
but
what to do,
there's,
it
you know,
says Sunnyside Attractions and Parks and Recreation. So I think that the
So it's
idea
already-
is already there. It's just that when you click on the parks, it tells you, it just shows you a map of everything. So I think that's the only thing we need to do is that maybe could be where the link could be to connect to the Parks and Rec at the city. I mean, I don't know, but
Okay.
I think that it's further along than what we're thinking. It's just that one part,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, and there, I think that we don't want to get too hung up, I don't think, on these small events that happen,
Well, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because they pop up randomly. You don't know when they're gonna just, oh, wait, all at once, we're gonna have a pop-up over at someplace on Allen Road, which I haven't figured out where that's at. And that's not really something that you can instantly put on this, the
Yeah.
come to the sun thing.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe it might be easier to put it on the city's web page or something, maybe, I don't know. But the pop-ups lately, I mean, those are fun things. And people like to go to them, but they're just sort of random, they don't have a regular schedule, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
And I
that
think-
would be
I
difficult.
think promoting events that are,
I think they have to have
Yeah.
bigger,
I
Well,
think, well, I
like
think,
championships, swim championships, absolutely, you know.
I think promoting things that are within, you know, that's having permission through a city that has the right permits, stuff like that, because we don't want to promote something and then it's not.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm kind of thinking, you know, and the 4th of July surely should be a tourism thing. I mean, it's not designed that way, it's designed for the local community, but if people had, you know, like out at the RV park, if they wanted, you know, we should have some posters out there so that people know that it's going on. You know, the different groups ought to be more proactive.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what we want to really encourage this year with the Come to the Sun. As people within the community who have these things to do, we need to really, you know,
Mhm.
promote that a little bit better.
I guess I saw Come to the Sun, and this is only the second meeting, but I thought this was kind of like a one-stop shopping for tourism, and now it's not going to be. And
Well,
for
I kind of
example,
think it. Go ahead. Peggy.
for example, when we do have a concert in the park, we out here never even get notification of those kinds of things. And it would be nice. Now it falls on the people who are hosting the event to submit the data. And I'm
Yes.
giving a lot of, you know, just things that I are thought of, because so many times in Sunnyside, I hear from people here and people coming here, there's nothing to do in Sunnyside. There are tons of things to do in Sunnyside. The fountain right now has, you know, 2 hours a day you can go play in the fountain. And while you might not think that that's actually a tourism related idea, there are lots of places that don't offer a fountain for kids to go run in. And it just, you know, we definitely do have to have a minimum criteria, and I do understand that. But it would be nice to have, you know, one Come to the Sun, and this is what's here, and this is what's going on in our community.
So maybe that's something that we can we, Stephanie, do you think that that's something we could do with like photographs? Is it a problem to add photographs and, you know, that it just kind of show those things like you have the dairy cow there at the Enjoy a Day in the Park? Wouldn't it just be just as easy to have the splash pool? you know? The kids
Yeah,
playing in it?
like I said, you guys are in the driver's seat, you're the ones that are paying for this. So if you guys just want to send me a list of what you would like to see on the events page, and I'll do my best to look up that information. Like Peggy said, it is on others who are coordinating and executing these events to get it
Right.
out there. If you're already having trouble finding it, I might not be as successful, but I'll do my
Yeah.
best. So just send me whatever you guys want to see on there for events, and I'll just make sure and find it for you and get it on there.
And when it comes to things, if you want to see images, say of the fountain or splash pad, we don't have those images. So providing those for Daniel's use would be important.
Yeah, we would have to get those to you, absolutely.
So for right now, these tabs,
There's like,
these are good for you guys?
yeah, I was just noticing though, when you look at the events, you got events, then you have festivals and events, and you have featured events, and then you have event listing. So is there a way to coordinate those into, are they separate things, I guess is what I want to know. The listings, the featured events, the festivals, and then events.
For the
Is that
featured
all under
events,
one thing?
well, the featured events, those stay up year round, so people can plan ahead to attend.
Yeah,
make
so if
travel
you want to
plans
make a
and- yeah.
trip for,
Yeah. So that is a separate category, and the event listings are more individual, specific dates and such.
Yeah. Like I almost forgot that this weekend was, and and Peggy was talking about, I always forgot this weekend was Sort for the Cause. It's a free event out there at Specs Arena, in addition to the Ale Fest downtown. So if you could go to the Sort for the Cause in the morning and then chill out at the Varietal in the afternoon, some way to, you see, I'm just looking at that. Where?
That's up at the office, because then I was coming down the hill. I'm like, why is your porta potties? And then it slipped my hand.
Yeah, we need a lot of porta potties down there. They need a big one with air conditioning.
Yes. But I'll be in.
I think that's where, okay, so when you go on that and you go to events, and as far as you talking about planning ahead, because I just know when we were trying to tell people for the parade to come to the Sun, this is where they got hung up. Because it only goes to a certain date. Is that what, or is there? I mean, I know that it's on
Can we just click on one of those, say, yeah. And then see what it says about that? Is there a contact number or anything?
No,
What we
but I
try to
think
do is we
that
try
we
to
just-
drive everybody to their websites for more information.
That's
So
what I was thinking, to the website.
Yep.
Okay, good, all right. I could remember.
And that link should be live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll fix it right now.
And then, because I was just looking like, what was the other one for the market, the market in the Sun at the square. I don't see a website there or contact.
They don't have anything.
Sorry.
How can you be a vendor if you don't know who to contact?
Well, I think like Farmers Market, it has their Facebook, and
Other
then
than
they
Facebook, I think.
Oh, that must be. Oops, excuse me. There
Okay,
it
so
is,
really
right, there it
quick,
is.
I
Okay,
fixed the link for the Sort for the Cause. Okay, and so what was there another link I needed to fix?
No, they were just saying
Oh, okay.
that
Excuse me.
if there's a way for them, if there's a way for people to contact the event coordinators for like vendors and stuff, and I was just letting them know that
that's
it
it,
takes them to the link.
yeah. And those just need to maybe they need to double check, make sure those are live.
Maybe just often I should just check in here and then just say, hey,
Mhm.
do you have any pictures that we can upload to the event page that you uploaded? Because these are for the public too.
Yeah. I gotta get
And
this.
then we just have to send it to Stephanie and they can upload.
Okay, I'm gonna have to send something about 4th of July to put in there, because we're gonna have food trucks and pop-ups and in addition to our.
So when people do that, are they sending stuff to the city?
Did we send it?
Jackie?
No, it goes straight to Yakima Valley Tourism, probably Daniel.
It's a mid-event.
So, okay, oh, there, okay, good. Just go to the website, go to submit an event, and that's, we're located under
Right under the
Okay.
events page right here, you just click a link down here.
Uh-huh.
Could we
Okay.
have is there a way to, I can't even scroll, for people to attach upload pictures on here?
If they sent me an email, I can add it, yeah.
Oh, by
That-
email,
that-
okay.
That's just a
Because
contact
somebody's
form
like-
and they'll type in
Right.
the information, but yeah, if you guys want photos and stuff, just go ahead and send it to me and then, yep, I'll take care of it.
Okay, and
just
there's,
send
is
it
there a way
to-
is there a way to have an upload button? No, not at all.
For the photo,
Yeah, like let's say I had an event and I'm like, oh, I have I have a flyer I want to upload. Is there an option to just hit upload? Here's my file and submit my event?
no, they would have to send us an email for that,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right, so no way. Okay.
Okay, well, okay, that's gonna take some education then. But I definitely, I think the things we really want to promote are already there for now.
Mhm.
But we need to get people to submit events. We need to do a job to communication we need a PR person in the
Well,
city, I'm sorry.
I would say though, the one I was gonna ask, so how do we know as far as people submitting these events? Like, as far as it going, that's why I thought it was sent like to the city, because if they don't have permits for the event or,
Right.
that's what I was kind of curious about with.
That's a good point.
with
So
this.
maybe
Yeah, 'cause
that's a
let's
conversation
say
we have at the
they-
next meeting, saying what's the
Yes,
criteria, like,
yeah,
are we-
I would.
Right.
Yes.
Because we don't want to
Let's figure
submit,
out criteria.
you know,
And we
Oh,
have
we're
really
hosting-
no way of checking, like even for
Yeah.
any of the rest of the events that come
Because
through.
that's not something
Yeah,
we
we
do,
just,
our job.
we
You're just
just take
submitting
it, that
Yeah.
they have already gone and done what they need to do. And so we'll put it on the website. So yeah, no, that's actually never
'cause we're-
crossed my mind about parade permits or, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully
Because
everybody
what if they
does their due
submit,
diligence.
like, we're having this event at Sunnyview Park, well, did you rent it?
Yeah,
Like,
did you rent the part,
and then city has no idea about this event, but then people are assuming you guys do because it's on there. You know what I
right,
mean? And then it could cause like some issues and.
yeah, that's why, that's something we gotta work on, criteria for submitting an event, I think, Jackie? Is that-
yeah, we could put something on the bottom saying these events haven't been,
Could be city, must be city, or our
or
city.
may or
approved.
depends on how you want to do it. You
Yeah.
could say these events have not been cleared by the city or something, some of them, I don't know, I'll
Some,
figure it
yeah, we
out.
need to
But
work
that's
on
fine.
that
Yeah,
language.
but it's not that for them.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
up to them, but
I was just, when I saw it, because I did not know that was there, but yeah, and obviously a lot of people don't if they haven't been submitting their events, so it's not an issue yet, but it could be.
It
if
could
we
be.
start telling people to submit their
Yeah.
events,
So
so.
like, come to my yard sale or.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's good, it's not for tourists, it's different, that's for
that's,
sure.
well, it would be at my house. It'd be a place.
So, yeah, as far as this stuff, I mean, and you already said you guys went through the food, the restaurants and you guys already had a list to send them
To check, double check.
for that, Jackie, and so,
Yeah,
I'm just making sure we're not adding extra work that we don't. Okay, well, we've got some other items.
yeah.
Stephanie, is that enough to go on for right now, or did we give you anything?
No, we have a lot to go on right now. I guess the next step for us then is just to implement the rest of the notes that I have here. And then, we're halfway through the year. So if you guys are cool with it, we'll just launch it. We can get this.
I think we need to do that. I think if later today, I get my gears and I better mark it on my list of things to do. I'll try to submit, because I do have my permits and stuff. I'll double check with Jackie for the 4th of July to get that in. So people know that we are having a 4th of July event and it is open to the public. It's not like it's only for Sunnysiders. I mean, anybody can go and I should have some flyers out. I don't know where they're at. I'll have to check my flyer girl. So you can have some out there too, if the RV park, maybe separate note. Okay, so shall we go ahead and
Yeah, I
launch
do
it,
have a
ladies?
question. Yeah,
Was there a question?
yeah, I know, I have a question.
Oh, you
for them.
do, okay.
So, do we know anything more about the pictures, from Shannon? Because the last time I don't know.
Yeah, they were sent to your guys's city, the Dropbox link. They would have been sent to your city email. So let me find that email really quick and I'll forward them to your guys's Gmail account.
Okay. Okay, that's mine, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
since we are halfway through the year, let's get her up and going. Is everybody agreed about that?
Yeah.
Peggy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody else who needs to vote on that? Or is it just us? Cool. All right, then. We're unanimous in our opinion to launch. And if we need to adjust things, is that still possible?
Are you asking me? Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry, Stephanie. I should have.
Sending, sorry,
mentioned
I
it.
was typing an email. for the
You're not
girls.
in the same room and watching me say, looking right at you. Yeah, so if we can, if we need to adjust something still, we're still able to do that maybe?
Yeah. Just send me an email and let me know, and then we can make sure and get that out to you guys.
Okay, I think we're about ready to lose our room here. So go, make it so, Stephanie,
Got
make
it.
it so. All right.
Okay, very good. And then do you guys have any other questions for me and Jennifer before we click off?
No.
No, I think we're good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
very good.
Thank
Thank
you.
Have a
you.
good
Thank you
day,
for all your
everybody.
work.
Thank you for all your work. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so.
Okay, what's the most important thing we have here? The two things that are left on our active
Well, this
agenda?
one's quick, the RFP tentative schedule, it's just what I'm gonna publish. I come back July 12th. I was gonna publish it while I was out, but I thought, no, what if people have questions? And I don't wanna overwhelm Janet, especially since she's pregnant.
Oh,
So I thought publish it on the 20th and make it available July 20th. RFP responses will be due August 24th by 4 p.m. or sooner if you guys want to. But usually give like 4 weeks. And then LTAP will review the proposals received the following Wednesday or whatever. And then council can review the recommendation September 12th.
so that's.
So, so depending on when you guys want to meet, after August 24th, just let me know before I publish it. You can.
Oh, that's the one it's read. But
So my question is, do you guys want to meet on the 31st of August to review the proposals? Is everybody as of right now available on that day?
The 31st.
Yeah.
Or I could just put,
No, we can. I think that, I will say the 4 o'clock time is really hard for me.
okay,
is that too late or too
Because with my
early?
kids, yeah, I
So
mean,
should
I'm
we
a
try to
work day,
Yeah.
like that's, yeah.
Is it, well, we need to figure that out. Peggy, is there a time limitation for you at all?
Mornings are horrific. Can't attend in person. This early takes a while for the painkillers to kick in. So midday and on is absolutely fine for me. But
So-
if it becomes that critical, I'll make it work.
Okay, so what I was thinking is if we could do it in the morning, could we do it, it's midday better
Absolutely.
for you?
I don't know, I mean.
If we do Wednesdays, I have the day off, so.
So Wednesday is still a good time, okay.
And just more, because in the afternoon I have soccer practice and all that stuff, so.
So Wednesdays are still a good day.
And it sounds like people are much better in the morning. And so let's just go with morning. I'll make it work.
Some of them can be kind of, I think that the reason that, we were doing that though, now that that this part is, so the people who, we had to like interview them because there were so many before. So that was another reason I think that we did it. At that
But the
time.
ones that do come, I mean, school's out, so like Miss Sunnyside puts a RFP. Or,
August 31st?
I thought school
No,
started.
it starts back August 24th is the first day.
so then,
Yeah.
that kind
Oh,
School.
poor Miss Sunnyside.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the date that the things are due at 4 o'clock.
No, and that's fine. I was
But
I was
they have
thinking
them
when we
too.
meet back again, do we meet in the evening? Could we do it in the, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
of, just Wednesday evenings I'm just Facebook, so that's why it's better
Yeah,
for me.
that's why in the afternoons, huh?
Yeah, I think
Even if we
early
did
afternoon,
11?
if we could, is 11 a better time?
11
Is that a
would be
better
fine,
time?
Yeah, we could do that.
Jackie, do you have anything that you
That's
have?
fine. And
Okay.
right now, if you tell me that time, I'll block it out.
Okay,
Okay.
Peggy, is
Okay.
11 o'clock sound good to you?
The 31st?
Awesome.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, because if we let people know ahead, they should hopefully have one person that could make it at least through Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because so even if we continue to do Zoom, and so at least you could be comfortable in your own spot, Peggy. Does that make
Absolutely,
sense? Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So,
Alright, so I
I
will
don't
do
want to make
that.
things difficult. Okay, so that,
And I can leave and then you guys can stay, as long as you guys don't take action, like, there's really no action, you guys can review the draft policy and stuff. And
Okay.
oh, you have to go to another
At
spot.
10, yeah, but it's just right here, it's a video conference with an attorney, so,
okay.
Okay,
you
all
guys
right.
can
Can
stay
we
here.
schedule the next meeting though?
let's go ahead and do that while we're here. Is there, should we kind of regroup?
So the Wednesdays, right, but
Go
the
ahead.
Wednesday
Go
for the August 31st at 11, that's when
We're gonna review
We're gonna
proposals.
review proposals and hopefully be able to vote on whether,
Which ones we like.
Right,
or-
is
And then
Okay.
we have, or here's the little calendar,
yeah.
so August 31st. If you say, I need another week because I wasn't prepared, you have September 7th to review them again. And then we have enough time to prepare it to go to council on the 12th
On the
anyways.
12th. Okay.
And then if not, it's not a big deal, we can move it to the 26th, so
Yeah.
at
Alright.
least there's that time that if you say, hey, I
And
didn't.
these
we
are
got a ton.
proposals for not this year, but for next year.
Yeah, for the light and farm implement parade, Cinco de Mayo, Sunnyside, Sunshine Days,
2023.
2023.
Yeah,
Oh,
these are
okay.
What did I say?
No, you did.
Oh,
not.
okay.
I was clarifying in my head because I was thinking, that's all.
Yeah, and that says up here too.
Oh.
What
I didn't-
happened?
If I would
Okay,
read
it
the
says
paper
July.
you submitted. Okay, got,
So.
You got like 5,
we don't,
minutes. I'll just step out and then whenever you guys can continue and then just tell me what time you guys adjourn. Just don't, if you take any action, let me know.
okay.
So are we trying to meet though in July one more time before we get those?
Yeah, we can
Or
if you want, and that way
um,
we can review budget. That way you know
Oh,
ahead of time
yes.
how much.
Yeah, let's plan on that. I think we
So-
need to know that, review budget and.
When are you gonna be gone?
I'll be back the 12th of July. I'm leaving on the 27th of this month.
Okay.
So July.
If we, can we plan it on the 20th? Would that give you enough time after you get back?
Yeah.
Okay, let's meet then in July. Can we meet at 11?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Peggy? You got that?
Absolutely. Again, forget I said anything, whatever works for you guys.
No, we're good. We're good.
Um,
We're just trying to decide on a July meeting,
So
July
we're looking
20th at 11.
At 11, right.
Right.
Sounds great for me.
and did we ever hear anything from Tom?
His, I think it was someone that works with him. I don't know if it's his assistant or not. She called and wanted the reporting that everybody submits every year.
Okay.
So I tried calling her. She didn't answer. So I
Okay.
don't know about the meeting, but and Mayor was supposed to go talk to some of the hotel owners,
Yeah.
but I think
I don't
kind of
think
rough.
I don't. think
Yeah,
it has
And
that,
then I think we got a new
Yes.
New owners are-
ownership, so I
Okay,
think
maybe.
maybe.
Okay, I would just really like to have someone else from that part of it, because I think we get a lot of good insight from the people who get the taxes and the
Right.
tours, so.
We
yeah,
need to have that.
It would be really
input.
good to have that other part.
And so we really need to. work
Yeah,
on
he has
that.
really good.
Yes, it'd be good to have it.
Yeah,
At least someone from that
At least
group.
somebody from his
Yeah.
outfit, because.
So
Um,
budget, and then what else would you guys like to discuss? We have this draft policy here.
Okay,
Okay.
I
Do
think
you
if
guys
we
wanna do a
review,
follow-up on that?
let's,
I think if we review and kind of
Make some
see,
notes.
make some notes, and then we can give them to you at the July meeting.
Okay. So let's see the feedback on draft
okay.
policy. The one thing I don't know if
But
it's.
it's already gonna go out, though, right? The.
Yeah, this wouldn't be implemented for 2023,
Yeah.
but I can't remember, I don't know if it's implemented in this one, but there was talk about having the signature events and then have them for multiple years versus
Yes.
every year.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I don't think that's in here yet, so that may be a note, everybody add on there, just saying, hey, we're gonna add the signature events,
yeah.
the contractor for multiple years versus one, and see how what you guys come up with on that.
All right, so we'll continue to go ahead and review the that policy. We have a date set for our next meeting.
So is this just an example of somebody else's?
Yep, that's the one that Deb had picked out. And I think it's exactly this. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew where it came, where this
Oh,
draft
okay.
came from.
Oh, okay,
And I
that's
just,
a
we just
sample.
put the logo on there so that it was ours.
Okay.
So this draft is based off of this one.
Okay, that's our sample.
Okay.
All right, well, Jackie, I know you gotta go.
You guys can
and,
continue
we
here if
will-
you'd like.
We will continue, and if we
Okay.
do take any, I don't imagine that we're gonna be taking any action
Okay.
on
Our
this,
minutes
on
are
our,
just-
on our draft policy, but if we have any notes, we'll make sure we get those to you.
Awesome, thank you.
And,
And if I don't see you, Counselor Hart, safe travels.
Yes, thank you.
Let me know if
And
you
thank
need
you.
anything.
Thank
Cash
you.
that check.
Yeah. Make sure I have money so I can eat.
I
and
know,
drive, have
and
some
then
gas.
if you have any expenses, additional expenses from anything listed on there,
Save the receipts.
save the receipt and then bring it back to me, okay?
Save the
Thank
receipts.
Hi,
you.
Jackie.
You have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and we got some few more minutes, I think. Is an hour going to be enough? Can we, you guys okay if we go about another 15 minutes? Is that enough? For the look at
Okay.
this?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't want to hold anybody up if they've got work
No, okay.
work obligations. I don't want to take too long.
But I still have time. We have soccer tournament.
Ah, fun. I was, okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so let's kind of just, looking at the funding policy, this is the first time I'm seeing it. Is it the first time anybody else is seeing it also?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
So
not seeing it.
You don't have a copy of it?
No.
You didn't get a copy.
Okay.
So I emailed to you. Oh, shoot. Okay, well then
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to email a copy of that to you.
yeah.
Do you know how to go about that?
Well, I was just gonna see if she had it up here on her. On like one of these.
Well, maybe we can look at that on the screen. Can you
You
see it
know-
on the screen?
Perhaps
Yeah,
I can
please.
follow along also, and I'll come up and pick it up after the meeting and give it a good review then.
Yeah, because I think when we'll take action will be in July on this one.
Right,
Because
so,
we're just suggesting.
Yeah, and these ones we're not gonna adopt, these are for next year, I believe,
Yeah.
okay? So, but we do want to make sure you get a copy of it so you can make some notes on it, because I know you have good input. Where's the next part of the agenda here?
Oh, this is what she was telling us about scheduling the next.
Yeah, but there maybe she has the rest of the agenda up there so we can,
You scroll down.
I did, yeah, that's what I was just doing right now. Is I scroll down and it just goes to
it
this
just
one.
goes, so it must be another page.
This one, so it's gotta be another page and I just don't know which one.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, and whoops. Sorry about that. I know, I'm trying to get to it. There. Now how do I get out of this?
You have to click the
I'll just
recent policy
So click
draft.
down.
right there.
Yeah, click that. Nope. Oops, also,
It's the same thing. Okay. I can't even find but I had it down here, right?
I think you did. Isn't that it?
That's it. So why can't I?
I wanted to open.
Yeah, why won't it open?
Right now, I can't even see anything, so.
Okay, well, you guys go ahead and discuss.
Okay,
it.
so we're gonna go ahead and continue to discuss while Leslie does her magic over here. So basically, it talks for Peggy's edification, it talks about our mission to invest in activities and facilities that increase tourism-related revenue through sustainable visitor experience. That's our mission. And I think if we just kind of talk about that just a second. So when we're funding these different groups and activities and facilities, it's, there you go.
Peggy, do you see it?
I see RFP schedule and RFP tentative schedule.
Okay,
Okay, well, I was really close.
we're close. We got a copy of it on our screen now, so.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll continue on.
go ahead.
Mission, and these are the goals that we're talking about. Fully utilize existing facilities, promote creative uses of existing facilities, promote partnerships through coordination and cooperation, improve visitor experience, improve visitor and resident relationship, focus on unique Sunnyside experience, emphasize citywide benefits, all recipients follow state and local laws in collecting and remitting taxes and fees when applicable. Do those all sound reasonable to everybody? That gives us a wide range of things that we're able to fund then, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Just looking at that.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'm gonna just read through it some more, okay? So funding philosophy, the LTAC will annually evaluate the institutions that traditionally supported and pledges that barring extraordinary circumstances, it will not dramatically decrease its support for these institutions without at least a year's warning. Now, with pandemic, we didn't really get that opportunity to give you that all a year's warning on that. So we lived through it, but that was a fun. And then this year's unfortunate event. Yeah. So that's, we couldn't do anything about that. That's barring unforeseen extraordinary circumstances. But those institutions that traditionally supported or pledged, city parks, historical museums, LTAC will consider recommendation on this is the thing that Jackie was just talking about, I think. LTAC will consider recommending multiple year awards to those institutions on a percentage basis in order to facilitate their long range planning and for time efficiency for the institutes and LTAC alike. In the event the funding for years beyond the current year see dramatic decline, LTAC reserves the right to adjust the award for future years accordingly. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Recognizing its limited ability to provide ongoing operating funds to organizations, LTAC will emphasize grants for fixed term projects such as startup funds for promising organizations or events, one-time grants for facilities improvement projects, seed money to conduct research and development concepts and grant applications that dovetail with LTAC's priority areas. I don't know, we're all pretty new to this, and I don't remember if I've ever, we've talked about seed money a lot. And I don't know that with the seed money that we've actually done it with this degree of direction. Does that make sense?
No, it's.
Because I know we've given money to people and said, and we're not giving, I remember Tom saying, well, if this is seed money, why are we giving them more money? Well, maybe it's under a different.
We've never had anything like this. It's always just been what we found on like the state website, what qualifies, and that's in there. And that's why it's just important for us to have and for the people who are applying. to have,
Right.
That
So
too.
that they know exactly what it is that we
Yeah.
allow. Okay. And I think that's really important for us as a committee to know, but also for those people who are looking for money from us to know.
Yeah.
They have to dovetail with our priority areas. Okay. So the next bullet here is lend support to a diverse range of sustainable activities to encourage visitors to enjoy longer stays and return often. Yes.
So when it says dovetail with what are priority areas, so like what is like
Do we have those written down?
I-
Priorities is on another
okay,
page.
so you have to go to the never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is just the cover page. All right, so we'll get to we'll make note of that so we can really focus. So sustainable. Okay, well, let's go ahead and read on then. Help establish a visitor-friendly infrastructure, including such things as signage, restrooms, transportation, information on attractions and facilities. When we were last year and a little bit this year, I want to point on this one a little bit because this implies, we're setting aside money for a convention center.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we don't have is adequate signage, and I know Destination Sunnyside has been working on,
The city has.
with the city has been working on signage.
So
Just
I
the
had,
city, I think.
I
think the
did
city-
advertisement with the LED screen when you enter into Grandview. And he was telling me that they have people that will pay, so we wouldn't have to pay to have this screen like Grandview has. It
Oh, yeah.
pays for itself. Advertisement for me, I think, and I'm stretching, is probably $200. It was very inexpensive to advertise the flyer for Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
And I got like 1,000 some views on there.
Mhm.
It was very cheap, I
Mhm.
thought.
Can you use the one in Grandview?
I used the one in Grandview. And I talked to the guy in Grandview, and he is very, very nice. He even sent me an email, giving me his apologies of what had happened. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, he was very nice, very good person to work with. It was our first time working with them. I had honestly saw it popped up on my Facebook. Want to do advertisement with this sign, click here. So I clicked it and he gave me a phone call. And he was really nice to work with. And he just said, hey, I would like to put a sign in Sunnyside, and you guys wouldn't have to pay for it because it pays for itself. I didn't get into a lot of details with him because
Could you forward that to Elizabeth? for
Yeah.
me? Because this council has been talking about some of the signage and how we can improve our entrances into
Yes.
into the town. And one of the things we talked about was places where we could put an electronic
Yes.
sign. One of the places I thought we ought to have it is out by the Munson property there. When you come down to the end of so that as you make the turn into Sunnyside, we'd have a place there that had a sign that said, welcome to Sunnyside, and here's what's going on, scrolling down. But I also want one over, I should say but we want one also at the entrance at Juanita. You come off the freeway there
Yeah.
where the cement place is. We already have a sign there. I'd like to have one there.
Yeah.
Because those are the two most recognized. I mean, we have the port exit as well.
Can I pop up with that? I
Yes,
spoke
would
to
you?
the port. And it is, so basically with that, it would be just like applying for any other sign. We do have an agreement with the one exit with the port, that the port maintains it and does everything. And it's just basically like how I paid for my highway sign for Sunnyside RV Park coming off. That's
Oh,
exactly.
you're talking about the freeway signs.
To put it on the freeway, yes, to try to, we talked
Through
about
the-
that at the last meeting. I brought up
That's-
signage, not knowing that all of you had addressed that. It's like everybody's button, which is wonderful. And it'd be nice to see something on the freeway that actually brought people into Sunnyside and not
And
rely.
and it seems to me those are approved through the Department of Transportation.
Correct.
Okay, so what I'm talking about is something different. I'm talking about an electronic sign so that as you come when you get off the freeway there at the Yakima Valley Highway and on Juanita, and you turn to come down towards Sunnyside, there's a Sunnyside sign there next to the cement place on their side of the street. I want to put an electronic sign in there. The city's been talking about putting an electronic sign in that says welcome. It's like the one in Grandview when you come off the exit to go into Grandview. You know which one I mean?
it's like a big LED screen.
It's an LED
Yeah.
screen. Yeah. Okay. I'd like the city's been talking about in our department, in our transportation proposals that we've been doing. We're talking about putting some signage, electronic signage in those places.
And I think enough businesses, if we advertise
support
it
it.
right, and if I paid like $200 and I
Yeah.
did for a week, I think that's fairly cheap
Well, so-
compared to other advertisements. And he's like, you getting 1,000 some views, and I did have people messaging me like, hey, they seen it. And he sent me they have a camera watching it, so if it get vandalized or anything.
Yeah.
So he sent me a screenshot of their camera view
Mhm.
of it. And I also went by and, because you always like to check to make
Yeah.
sure
I'm sure
you're
your stuff is going
advertising.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that it would be really nice for Sunnyside, because we can always put, like home of the Grizzlies, or championship swim meets are here,
Mhm.
or, like 4th of July fun.
For the parade.
For the
and
parade,
everything.
like different things, and
Yeah.
even if it's on the freeway, because I think he said that you're able to put like the Amber Alerts,
Yeah.
stuff like that on there. and I think
Absolutely.
that would be-
But that's on that's on those electronic reader boards. What you're talking about, Peggy, is the ones that are out on the highway, which I think we need to encourage people to get out there on those. Because I know there's a couple I saw the other day that was faded. I couldn't even tell what it was. And it was on when I was coming off the freeway.
Mhm.
So we need to really do those both all 3 exits of wherever they're located. It makes me mad that there's nothing that says Sunnyside on how many miles to Sunnyside until you're just almost 18 miles from Sunnyside.
Yeah.
It's not mentioned at all
Yeah.
so that's something, maybe I'll talk to Mr. Restucci, who's on the Transportation Commission, maybe he can help us with that. Anyway,
Well, and there, that other sign too, that says over by the Eagles.
Yeah.
That, and it says visitor center.
yeah, there's no visitor center there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just confusing, I think, for people when they come into town. And
So
it's
that's
difficult.
something that,
So- So that's something that could, but who would apply for this? Is that something that we as LTAC can say we want to put money towards this, or is that something that
well, that's a
somebody
good
else
question.
has to apply for? So that's, okay, so
We
that
need to know the answer.
That's
to
what we
that.
need to know.
We have a question on who
Because-
applies.
I feel like that's just like what you said with the event center, it's something that LTAC could, because it's for tourism.
Yeah, so
So
we could do
it's-
some money, for transportation, that's that signage. Let me check with the city to see who applies for.
Okay.
And I think one of the things maybe, as far as putting an actual tourist center there at the port exit, might not be a bad idea. There's property there. The museum put a tractor out there.
Oh, yeah.
And so if we did create a little kiosk that was for tourism, that might,
Mhm.
but we ought to have them.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's a
but
lot.
We need to, with this,
But this,
with the funding
let's try to stay
policy
on
for
this,
LTAC, we need to figure out
yeah.
if we can fund projects like
So
that.
it says we
So
can
that's what we
help
need to know.
establish visitor-friendly infrastructure.
And that's what we need to,
And that's-
because
yeah.
it's the same, I think,
Yeah.
it's, yeah,
And
what
I
you're
think,
saying.
I think
is the
that's,
same.
yeah. And
Like,
I,
yeah, a kiosk.
so if somebody came to us and said they wanted to put a kiosk someplace, if somebody came to us and said, we'd like to put a reader board in and this is how it would work, we could help to establish that.
Mhm.
That's what this line says.
Yeah,
Doesn't that to you?
yeah, but I just, if the LTAC ourselves can put that forward or not.
Yeah.
That's
because-
the question.
That is a
Yeah,
different question.
question.
But we know
That's a
people.
good use
like-
of funds, but
But I
Yeah.
tell you
Yeah.
what, if Destination Sunnyside would come to us and say, hey, look, we want to put a reader board up. We want to establish a reader board. And how do, we want to find some funds so we can encourage the implementation of one. That's the same thing. I mean, we already can help to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So if we talk to somebody on this Destination Sunnyside, say, do you guys want to be interested in supporting a reader board and LTAC can give you some money for it? Does it bring tourists downtown or wherever? Does that make sense, Peggy?
it does.
Yeah, okay. Well, now we know we can do that because according to this draft,
Mhm.
that's a good idea. Okay, so that's a good one. All right, we've got, moving on here, so we can get at least through the review of this. The next bullet here is commencing and says 2016, the committee will elect to convene for the purposes of considering off-cycle requests for LTAC funds, which meet the legal requirements for lodging tax funding, provided funds are available for projects that meet priorities for tourism. Any off-cycle request shall be considered using the same application process and procedures for the annual process, beginning with an advertisement for RFP, excuse me. So that's something that's been in our policy already, so I don't see any need to change that.
No. Hey, is there anything different on your screen?
Let's see. Yes, you did it.
Okay.
Oh,
Woohoo!
good,
There you go.
okay. So now we're down at the one that says endeavor, it's at the bottom of the page there.
Yeah.
Endeavor to
Yes.
use or reserve 10% of its available funds, grant funds annually to fund new or innovative proposals, sorry. No more than 2 projects will be funded from reserved funds. Okay,
And that's, that, an example of that would be the event center, is that what that?
I would think so,
Okay.
I would think so.
And so are we able to use that for the sun?
Yes, that would be.
No, you wouldn't have to use that, to reserve that, I mean, maybe we could.
Oh, yeah.
Cause it promoting tourism. Cause you wanna get people in, so you're promoting.
I think,
So, yeah, they're saying.
because it's like a
10%.
special project or innovative proposal. And I would think that something like bringing in those little ED reader boards is
Mhm.
innovative. I
Yeah,
mean, I think that we're we gotta quit living in the past, and some people don't like those reader boards like that. But when you're sitting at the light there, you can read it,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, so that's something, we're gonna need to, when we go over this the next meeting, that we'll need to know. That
Yeah,
we'll need
we
to
can-
check and see if that's something we wanna do, because, we need to find out how much it would cost, because maybe we wouldn't, because I
Maybe-
think that's for like a bigger.
Maybe that's something the city needs to do,
Yeah. so we
put
don't
in
know.
our transportation budget.
Maybe.
Through our funds that we were getting through our
Okay, so
transportation
there's
monies.
kind of.
So that might be
there.
something that might not pertain here. I mean,
Yeah,
other kinds of signage and promoting of other kinds of signage. Restrooms, absolutely. We've been having so much vandalism with our city park restrooms that
Mhm.
I think that's been really kind of a bugaboo. We gotta figure out a way that those little hound dogs can't break our restrooms. But transportation and for having a convention center here, we need some kind of taxi or Uber kind of facilities. We don't have that in Sunnyside, but we need that. If we had hotels, if they had charter shuttles, like if the one up there in Wine Country and the convention center was, say, downtown, could shuttle people downtown. I mean, it's just, or from the airport, have a shuttle from the airport to downtown.
Amen. Yeah.
Because that would be something. I talked with Elizabeth about that not long ago. She was seemed like it should have been more up to date than it was. The town that she was in, she had trouble with taxis. She had trouble with a whole bunch of other issues that when we were talking about convention center, things we need to look at, future reference. But okay. I think endeavor to use or reserve 10%. I think we need to do that. I think I'd like maybe see if we can bump
This is
that.
an area of emphasis. for
Okay, here's our
service.
area of emphasis. So
Okay.
the LTAC has historically given priority to funding proposals that encourage enhanced tourism beyond the peak months of July and August. So that falls into our the Cinco de Mayo. That falls into the parade that we've been doing. Also Sunshine Days. Those are like the 3 that I can think of off the top.
Yeah. Okay, so.
So we give priority, so any event that's outside the peak months, I mean, we give priority to. Doesn't mean they don't fund things in July or August.
But
But
priority should go to the ones that are.
that are kind of give us that year round.
Yeah.
Okay, wrap around. Promoting tourism that typifies Sunnyside, natural beauty, geology, outdoor activities, anthropology, ag attractions, lifelong learning opportunities, history, culture, and the arts. That seems like a pretty well-rounded proposal there. Strategies include development of key community assets that function as point destinations or venues for multiple purpose events, like those concerts in the park that Peggy was mentioning, and serve on a year-round basis. Special events or festivals that amplify the natural resources, cultural offerings, history of Sunnyside. So, like the little asparagus festival could be bigger.
So does this
You know.
include like sports as well?
Yeah, because it says.
Absolutely.
Outside activities,
Mhm. Basketball tournaments, swimming events, yeah.
3-on-3 downtown, and
Cause I know like how Ripken, we can't use here in
Yeah.
our parks. I don't know what the whole thing or what, but we're traveling. So we're going to Zilla, we're going to Prosser, we're using the high school for some.
Cause they have to rent them, that's why. They have to rent the parks, and so they just
Yeah.
don't have enough.
And there's like a $25, seems like, let me get back to you on that one, that's for the Parks and
Cause
Rec.
I feel like there's money that we're losing in Sunnyside.
That's been a topic of discussion too with the parks.
Because
we've been working on that.
I've been doing, so for football, we have to go to Prosser.
Yep.
So every Saturday and Thursdays, we would be going to Prosser. So that means I'm gonna stop in Prosser at Love's and I'm gonna buy a pop and I'm gonna buy some flower seeds or snacks for the kids. So in my head, I'm thinking, all these parents are doing the same thing.
Why
And they're
can't we-
shopping at McDonald's
yeah.
and Starbucks. We need that in here.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're losing those dollars.
Okay, that's something,
Need to maybe make it more clear that, when it says multi-purpose event, I think we need to make it more clear that it can be used for sporting events as long as it brings in tourism. I think
now where do we put that?
I don't know, but I just,
Well,
I think
is
right
that
there,
special,
so-
is that temple financial?
I think that when
Resources?
if people would read this, like, I think it's a question. I think that people maybe wouldn't realize, I know we've had the basketball, people have come for basketball in the past, but we don't have a lot. And so I think maybe that's something we need to think
Cause
about.
like
talk about
wrestling
next time.
is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, okay, let's
Isn't
do
it
some
kind of
research on
easy
that.
though, if the city that's coming in is not, I mean, it's Sunnyside and somewhere else. And so clearly the other city, we would want those tourist dollars to be here in Sunnyside.
Yeah.
So
So maybe
does
maybe
make
the
it
parks,
tourism.
I think maybe the Parks and Rec, we've got to look at that again a little bit. And that's the cities, on the cities end, we got to make it, we got to figure out a way to dovetail that with our areas of emphasis, and got to look at, we have to look at those AAU and Cal Ripken events as tourism related. I mean, they have to be, just like you said, they got to eat, they got to have someplace to eat.
And I know a lot of
gas to get home.
I know a lot of parents have been complaining because they're
Like
like,
travel all the time.
we have to travel. And gas prices right now is not cheap. So I mean, we've been traveling to different, places. And I think that if it was here in town, and when we go to these, half the team is Sunnyside. There's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
It's from Sunnyside. So I think
Yeah,
that
but we're practicing competing in another town.
yes.
Oh, no, that's not good.
All the time.
It's like football, like flag football. I want to say maybe 2 were like Prosser and the rest were all Sunnyside kids.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get back to that one. I got a question here on that because I know-
And I'm only
No,
aware of it
that's-
because my
yeah.
son is in sports and my daughter is, but she's more in the high school sports.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing and then I'm hearing the frustration of the parents and
I
then
get you.
I'm like, oh, it's okay. But then when you're traveling every weekend and you have to be here,
Well, you're not spending your money in town.
yeah,
You're spending your money someplace else.
yes.
So I think you're right. We need to figure out a way to add the word that sports, because I know we've turned down money for sports before. Some money we've given, some money we haven't, like the
Wow.
509.
Yeah,
And I know for that because they didn't have their
yeah. They have,
Yeah.
they still have to follow the rules, but at least if you put it in here, maybe we would get more things that would have an opportunity that,
Like a 3-on-3 sport.
Yeah.
because I know
I mean, that's the only one I'm thinking because I'm thinking that's downtown.
So I know
Okay.
like the wrestling, they've been wanting to do a tournament and that will bring in tons of people. Because I mean, we travel for wrestling too.
Mhm.
So even if they applied, the
Yeah.
high school applied for it, or like the club,
But
a club, that would bring in
I think,
tons.
I really do too, and I've talked with the Parks and Rec on this before, and I think I'm gonna have to go talk. What we need to do is what some of us have to do, and it's hard for me, but we need to go to the Park and Recs when they have their meetings, when they have a commission meeting, and
Yeah.
tell them that they need to be more user-friendly because they charge, I can't remember what it is, but if they would
It's
kind of
30,
have-
isn't it?
I don't know what it is a day.
And I
It could
don't,
be different for like Central Park. I don't know because of the pool.
and I don't think it's the prices, because we paid 80 some dollars for flag football. And we're going to Prosser. So I don't think it's the money, it's just they need
So-
to implement stuff.
Okay, but how does that, we have to figure out a way to make that an area of emphasis for us, as one of our target items that becomes part of our draft, to encourage
Yeah.
like Ripkins to, if they needed some money
To apply.
to apply for, what would they be using it for?
Probably the field rental.
For the field rental.
And cleanup.
I'm not
Like
sure,
the
like, I'm not
Parks event.
knowledgeable with
Mhm.
it. I just know they said we're not able to use the facilities in Sunnyside. And I kind of just was
Well,
like,
yeah, you gotta pay rent for them. What do you mean you can't use them?
and I don't know the full story of what. I just was told, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna.
So that needs a little more investigation.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I
so we need to
figure we need to
research.
keep, why are they going out? We need to keep them here.
Okay, so we need to research that.
Yes.
Okay. Where did I leave off?
Um,
Okay, so, okay.
Can you
special events.
change the page?
Yeah.
no, I
No,
didn't.
we're not
it's-
ready.
We're developing innovative opportunities.
There we go. We're on.
Okay, got it.
The second bullet here. So now we're developing innovative opportunities. So that's maybe what we're talking about here. So use of capacity in existing community facilities is encouraged. I think that research right there signifies. Improving the community relationship and tourism experience. Visiting education events like ecotourism, ag tourism, and being more aware of when like the local wineries are having field days.
Mhm.
If there's any way that we can help promote that maybe on the Come to the Sun. Community involvement strategies, developing opportunities for that. Improve effectiveness in coordinated transportation, trail linkage, including streetscapes and signage. We need a committee. Where does that go?
Right?
Supporting projects that promote coordinated and cooperation in tourism activities. So supporting projects that demonstrate citywide benefit. There's a little exclamation, little asterisk here for something. And did you see an asterisk earlier? Oh, that's up here about the relationships between tourism and experience here.
Oh, okay.
And so that category of enhancing tourism experience is based on the increased recognition that the tourist is purchasing experiences. Concept is to encourage facility events and tourism facility operations that heighten, expand, improve, lengthen the tourism experience with the idea of encourage longer stays and more frequent returns.
Okay.
And remember
So-
those things are within a 50-mile radius.
Yeah. So what they're, but it is saying that anything that can encourage, not as, even if they don't stay at the hotel this time, they're saying that as long as it encourages them to
encourage
come
them to come back.
and do it another, okay.
Yeah. More
Okay.
longer stays, more frequent returns.
Yeah.
So a good piece of that is like at the RV park, do you have people who come back for particular
I was
events?
just waiting for a break. For example, we have a grandpa that just booked. I believe this is his 5th or 6th time, and he brings his entire family. We have tents popped up everywhere around him, and he really makes an incredible time of it here at Sunnyside RV for swimming, for swim meets. And so talking about sports, and yeah, they come back every year, stay here. We get a big bonfire going and get the s'mores going. And we have this swimming pool and it's heated and they love that to practice in. And so, yeah, we definitely have that. And it would be really nice. That's what I was talking about, the Come to the Sun site. This first year, it's going to be a lot of work getting some things that are going to be repetitive, but in future years, it's going to just be changing dates of tournaments and things like that. But I really feel even if it's not an event, it is at least an activity And instead of going to multiple places for that grandpa's not going to go to, actually what he does is he calls us and asks us when stuff's going on. So
We need to funnel you more info.
yeah, and so to have that one
Mhm.
place would be spectacular for these activities.
Where is that person from? Do you know? I mean, you know.
Happy Wood, and he's not here right now, or I'd ask him right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's coming from actually, Grandpa's coming from out of state.
Oh,
But yeah,
Does he-
Grandpa's
does he-
coming from out of state, but their
Does-
family and grandchildren that are part of it live here, live in the state.
oh. So it's like a big family reunion kind of
It
thing.
is.
Yeah, coolness. All
Do you-
right,
Go
ahead.
I just have a really quick question. Do you have people coming the last weekend in July? Do you have, for a swim meet, because there's swim meet, our swim championships are in Prosser. So I'm curious if people are staying in Sunnyside, even though it's in Prosser.
I hear
Can
the
you-
stories from Martin, but I don't actually work much at the RV park with the direct reservations. I can actually go check and see what's on the board. If that's what it is, then it's in July. Yeah, I know it's coming
Yeah.
up.
Can you, if you wouldn't mind emailing that to me, if you find out, that would be great. Sorry,
You
side note
bet.
from the draft, but that would be great. Thank you.
You bet.
Go ahead, Julia, sorry.
No, good. And and anything that we know that's going on, because we're all active in some activity, we need to be able to share those as well.
So, okay, I have a question. So
Okay.
now the event, so like we're doing on the city website, would it be Walmart's doing Children's Miracle Network? So we're hosting events to raise money for Children's Miracle Network.
Yeah,
Are we able to put that on there?
on the
That's a-
city?
Yeah,
city
like on the
website?
event thing?
Oh, not on, I don't think.
Probably not
Come
on
to
the Come to
Sun.
the Sun, but certainly on the city website,
Okay,
I think that they're, yeah,
so
that's,
that would qualify?
on the city website.
I think that's something that in another meeting, that's why after we do this, we figure out that we need to figure out the distinction between
Yeah.
what goes on Come to the Sun and what's coming, and I get what she's saying. But that's why we need to be able to tell Yakima Valley Tourism what is going on Come to the Sun and what's staying
And
on the
what's staying on our
city.
website.
So
I would
that's, yeah.
certainly stick it up on the website, or,
Cause we do fire versus police
Mhm.
event, and it's getting pretty big. Now other Walmarts are implementing it at their stores. They're trying
I
it.
really, we're trying to develop our economic development advisory group.
Mhm.
And so businesses doing things like that for fundraisers and for charities, I think definitely ought to be on the city website.
And see,
And
the
so they're
funds
like-
go
so-
100% to, and it goes to Yakima one. It doesn't
We
go,
don't have
it goes to Yakima children, like the children's hospital.
the Children's Village.
Yes, children's
Yeah,
village.
Okay.
Julia, wouldn't like the fireman's pancake feed be part of tourism? I
Well, it's
certainly would
part-
want,
It's all part of what goes on during Sunshine Days or.
so that's
during
why it
Christ-
would be there.
So
Okay.
it
Yeah.
would be there, yeah.
It's there under Sunshine Days or under
Like
the lighted
Sunnyside,
parade,
The
under
chili
Sunshine
feeds
Days.
under,
Yeah.
their chili feed is under
lighted.
the lighted
So that
parade.
will be on the Come to the Sun for the tourists, just not
Yes.
things that don't necessarily draw tourists in and are
Yeah.
just community-wide will stay on the city webpage.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's the distinction,
Yeah,
the real distinction here. Okay, so now our priorities, the LTAC priorities for tourism development, and they're listed in alphabetical order, and maybe this is where, well, let's go through them first. So the first one is arts, assist the festivals and events that get underway with funding and encourage partnerships with existing facilities. Parks, LTAC considers city parks critical, necessary to tourism industry and the city's economics. Will actively support efforts to provide an alternative sustainable funding system for city parks. Well, and city parks has got to work with us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I think the hangup is. There has to be a more reciprocal kind of situation there, and that's something I really think, I'm gonna put a little question mark. on
yeah,
parks.
let's put something next to it.
Because I wanna have we used to have, long time ago, before you children were born, maybe Peggy, we would have, the dairy women would have a festival over there on the Yakima Federal Park, that little
Yeah.
parkway there. And they there was an arts club, and they would have an art festival over there in that little park. It was really sweet. And we had a couple other fun little events along that place too, but people have to organize them. Okay, you're down there, you got something circled, but we'll go ahead and, anyway, now place-based food, support food-related markets like farmers markets, festivals and events. I think we should throw flea markets in there too, because those bring people in. But anyway, festivals and events. Support facilities and programs to expose visitors to locally grown and or prepared foods, wines, and other beverages, like the Ale Fest. Restrooms, assisting in development of comfort stations plan with standards, identification of existing restrooms available to the public. It seems like a big deal. Indication of where more restrooms are needed and a strategy for financing them. That's an odd thing to have in LTAC. Seems like an odd thing, but having comfort stations and knowing where they are, I mean, right off the top, can you name 3? Kiwanis Park is always.
And Prosser.
Well, I'm talking about in Sunnyside. But comfort stations, like Kiwanis Park, which is almost always vandalized. South Hill Park, which is always vandalized. You can't use unless you're in, you can use the ones at the community center when the community center is open. It should be every day, but we haven't got enough money yet, but we're working on that. This Centennial Square, there's restrooms there,
But they're not open.
but they're not open.
None of the bathrooms.
None of the
our
bathrooms are
restaurants
I
are
think they're open.
Only during special events.
Well, I closed them for them.
open.
It's because of safety.
Yes.
There's too many people.
There's
And it's only one way in and one way out, and it's just so many massive people. That's why we
It's-
lock them.
Yeah, it's very clustered.
Yes,
Very
so
much
that's
clustered.
the reason why, and I know people get mad, but
Yeah.
that's why I have to rent porta potties. But I do know because I've been at the PD when they do and go lock them at night.
Yeah.
And so they are open. I don't know what time they open them.
I think they're open during park, because
Yeah,
parks are open
and then
from
they
a
close
certain
them at
time
night.
and at dusk they're closed. Well, we have people who live in there too.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
I know
another
like
thing.
at Kiwanis Park, because we do practice sometimes out there, the bathrooms are not open.
Yeah,
So-
they're all so vandalized right now, and that's, city is working on that.
I think something that, would be considered LTAC is more signage to explain or something, that the bathrooms are closed during these. That, because if it's talking about what's helping the tourists, I'm thinking about when I visit out of town, like I know that a lot of places they'll have like stuff that says they close at a certain time or,
Yeah.
so I think maybe that would, but
Yeah.
I think it is hard. I think that's a multi department.
Yeah, it is a
to
multi-department.
take care of that one. so.
And also I like the signage, but also I like the idea, and most like with at the parks and things, the state parks,
Mhm.
you have you have a way in and a way out. So you don't get that congestion, people trying to go by each other to get back out.
Because if you have like
Safety,
Yeah,
what do you call it? Stroller,
Stroller.
yeah.
one person coming.
Yeah.
And and it's more safety, that's why we close it for
Yeah.
Cinco.
Maybe we need to, in development of the comfort stations and under this priority, maybe that we need to redesign them with an idea towards safety. And maybe that's, maybe they do need a big redesign, and we need to.
Something, yeah. I
They
think
need
that
to be
can
made
help.
out of just cement and keep it as
Yeah.
simple as possible,
Yeah,
durable as
because
possible.
one of the things that we were talking about, the Parks and Rec were talking about, because on the actual soccer field park, it's the one out by the Law and Justice Center. It's actually supposed to be the soccer field park. There's no restrooms, there's no bleachers, the parking isn't perfectly designated. And it's just a piece of grass right now. You know, I think there's underground sprinklers. But people don't even know about it. And we're talking about putting some porta potties out there to begin, to kind of encourage people to say, oh, there's porta potties there. You know, but people don't know that that's even available to play soccer.
Yeah, and I think that if they reach out to the 2 soccer teams, because we use Sun Valley and Sun Valley, some out there, we have porta potties.
Yes.
Sunnyview?
Sunnyview?
No, Sun Valley School.
Oh,
So
right.
one league plays over there,
Yeah.
and that league rents a porta potty and it's out there. And then we have the other league that plays behind Pioneer, and
Yeah.
there's a porta potty there too for the kids,
Yeah.
to use. So and there's tons, like it's full all day long, because there's soccer Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's all day long. So if we can get whatever they're paying the school district, if we can get that money.
Maybe we, you know, maybe what. Now we're kind of off of LTAC a little bit, but it does relate back to the fact that we have parents driving to Prosser to play the games they should be playing here. If we could give soccer leagues or our local leagues a break on the rental of the parks, maybe something that our committee could work with the park committee to take back to council. Maybe we could team up with a recommendation from the LTAC to the council, and then but meeting with the Parks and Rec folks to see if we could coordinate with them to bring that to the city and say, look, maybe that's something we need to do. And that's perfectly legal for us to do as committees. That our recommendations to the city council don't necessarily have to be about money. It can be about convenience. And I think having the restrooms and open and the signage is something that we should recommend.
Well,
And I do think we have, yes. And I think that the other thing about that too is if we coordinate with the Parks and Rec Commission, we'd have stronger voice when we take it to the city.
And just finding out from each league, like, okay,
What their
why,
issues are.
like,
what
why
really
are
is
you
happening.
not using our facility? Why are you using the school facility? And then kind of bring it and say, okay, well, we can present X, Y, and Z.
Have
This one.
some actual data that we can take to the council. Because the council can change these things, change the fees. You know, but the commissions will bring forth the recommendations based on the needs of the committee and the leagues. So.
And maybe that will help them bring tournaments this way.
Yeah.
Because we did a tournament in at the Sozo League. Yeah. And it was really nice. And
they have a beautiful facility.
Yeah, they had like a whole section of just like foods and different things like that. And they had speakers out, and it was our first time going. It was really neat. They did charge you for parking, and then you paid the fee to join. And then now we're doing this Spokane one, so I'm gonna kind of. But when I'm going to these events, I'm thinking, why can't we? Why can't we do it here?
Right.
And me doing events, I'm like, okay, this is easy. I can do it, but I don't have the knowledge of like, okay, how do I run an actual tournament?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know there's more to just, I can plan it, but brackets and all that stuff, that's where I don't.
Well, see, yeah, but that's somebody else's job. But the other thing is too, like with the swim team, because of the swim team, going to the council or to the Park and Rec or whoever you guys worked with, I'm looking at you because I know you're involved with them. Well, however you did it, we were able to then put into our Parks and Rec program this year enough money for scholarships for kids who couldn't have, it wasn't for swim team. It wasn't for swim team, but it was for swim lessons, which actually then creates a body of kids that might want to join swim team.
No, they're making our families pay double. Maybe it's not something we should discuss right now.
Okay, let's not go there. But yeah, but we got to figure out a way around that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know how that came up.
Yeah.
But the point is that we can push back on some of these things. And we have to do it with a coordinated effort. I'll get in trouble for saying that maybe, but I believe in collaboration and cooperation, and I believe that our strength is in numbers. And so anyway, let's continue with our
Yeah.
review because we're going on 11 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Museums, encouraging partnerships with sponsors of other local activities, events to provide income and help communities take full advantage of their facilities. And one of the things there might be money, if the museum would come to us and say, we need some money to put up some sheds to put all of for our ag museum. That would be something that we could partnership, they could partnership with the museum and the
So we
city.
can encourage partnerships.
We can
with
encourage,
sponsors.
yeah, we can encourage that.
With sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now seasonal tourism industry, employee housing.
I don't know why it says housing. That was, I was
What is
gonna,
that supposed to mean?
no, I really don't know because everything down here, it has nothing to do with housing.
And isn't it not supposed to be for any individual? It's, supposed to be for groups of people, not an individual benefiting, because yes, I don't even see how that
I
works.
think I need an explanation. of what
That's
that
gonna be a
means.
question. I know I
Yeah.
put a question next to it because I don't really
I
understand.
don't understand
Like
that.
what the seasonal tourism industry employee housing has nothing to do
Would
with
that
the
be
things that are discussed.
Like,
Well,
if we were to bring in the contractors, like you would house them because they're coming in and working and they're spending money here?
No, we wouldn't do
That's
that.
not in there.
Contractors pay their way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the ones that, like the field workers that come in with the buses.
Why would LTAC do that? It's
Yeah, why
not
would
Yeah,
they-
that's
tourism.
why I'm saying like
But-
housing, because they're coming in and they're spending money.
That's not.
I think we got to get some more.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what
Yeah,
that,
I don't know either, but that one
Because it
seems
doesn't
odd.
explain it below, so that's why I
And
wasn't
the other
sure
thing
if
is,
it
as
was
I look
just
over
like-
here at San Juan Island to find out what they got, and they don't say
They
anything
don't-
extra about it either.
They don't have it, so.
Well, they have that in there,
No,
but
I
they-
know, but that.
but they don't explain it. What does it mean? I mean, why are we?
That's what I'm saying, I think. Seasonal tourism.
Well, we also get to choose what we spend our money on, so, or what we
Yes.
make recommendations to council
Yeah.
to spend money on, so.
Yeah.
it's like if you, it's like, oh, can I get LTAC money to buy a house? Like, no.
Or I would do it.
Seasonal,
Okay.
because I can, seasonal tourism, so something that would only, okay, so if we had an ice skating rink. And there was people that worked there and then we would pay for,
See, that's what I'm
Maybe,
saying, like
maybe,
the
but I
field
mean, I
workers
still- I
that
don't-
come
I don't
in.
know.
I don't agree with
No.
it, that's what I think maybe, but.
I'm just trying to come up with some-
We need to.
We need a
ask
better
questions on
definition
that.
of why we
Yeah.
have that.
Amen.
Cause there's
Okay.
signage below it, but that has nothing to do with that part, so we need, that's a
Okay,
question,
okay,
okay,
that's when we can send that to.
yeah.
Okay, so then we're almost done.
Yeah.
We got like one. Signage, back to signage again. Encourage creation and installation of welcome directional signing. Identifying community attractions. Signs should reflect city's unique culture, draw on the talent of its artists, the art codes, art commission. That would be somebody we would want to co-op with.
Mhm.
Proposals must comply with the city of Sunnyside code. So our reader boards are
Yeah,
that fall, if we get somebody comes in and say, we want to help with the signing, the city of Sunnyside says we want to use,
yeah,
we need a little extra money out of LTAC to, we could actually apply for our own money.
that's what I'm saying, I, that's why I did have
I
a
think-
question.
Cause
Is
it
some-
could be like
something we
sponsor,
can-
like, like LTAC brought this to, like how they have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this brought this, cause I don't think a lot of people know what LTAC
No.
is. And I would like to see us
We need
do
to-
different things.
You know, one of these community forums, we should have a table at one of the community forums to talk about LTAC money.
Oh, yeah,
And how we can impact the city as far as tourism goes.
yeah,
That's a
And what
brilliant
this-
idea.
I
Very
think we need to do that. There's a one coming up, but I can't remember when it is, but we should really consider having a table at that.
yeah,
Because this business, Sunnyside Destination is the one I think really ought to take this signage issue ask for some money for tourism, because that's what Destination Sunnyside is about, bringing people to town and keeping people in town. Okay, transportation, we talked about that a little bit earlier about encouraging development of transportation options for
Yeah.
visitors. And that would be shuttle buses or vans from the airport or from the different outlying motels and that sort of thing. So yeah, those are, I think those are still priorities. Action items, we got action items. And somebody from Granger wants to tell me, tell me later. Establish priority areas of concern and encourage applicants to come up with creative approaches. And I think we've had some, ladies, as we've been talking today, we've been thinking about some places, priority areas of concern and people we could encourage to apply for some of these monies, some creative approaches. Don't you think that, talking, we really need to work on that. I think that's a huge priority item for us. Did you push up there?
No, I did not. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to
Nope,
be able
yep,
to see it.
I'm sorry about that.
And then, so designate percentage of LTAC money to promote an area of interest or project, say funding artists to do visitor-oriented signage. Chase Reef comes to mind. Where the city is waiting for him to get his business license so he can climb up the water tower and put our signage up there. And meanwhile, he's been muraling up the town with all kinds of things. They change periodically, which cracks me up. He changes them. So that's a really.
This is visitor oriented signage. So
Yeah.
it needs to be, because we've been trying to get him to do something for the, for the parade, for the light, that we want it up all the time though, so that when people come visit, like they come to Cinco de Mayo or wherever, that they see that, and it would have like first weekend in December, we want like a mural painted up there.
And I kind of
We've
think
been
it'd be
trying
really
to-
cool to have that on that brick wall
Yeah.
right there by the Centennial Square,
Yeah.
because everybody passes. You haven't got him to do it yet? Or
Did they vandalize the one downtown?
no, I don't think so.
Because I saw yesterday it was a big piece of board. It was like nailed on there.
No, they're putting in a window. That's what they, yeah,
Oh,
that's not.
Window where?
I think that's what I was told anyways. I don't know, maybe they.
Which are you talking about, the wall that's there by the gravel?
where it says Sunnyside.
Right in the middle of our mural?
That is what the last thing I was told, because I asked the same question and I could be wrong, but that's what I was.
Something to investigate there.
Yeah, because I thought, man, they vandalized
And they
it.
could have, and maybe that's it, but that's just, I asked too, and that's the first thing I was told, no, that business wants to put a window in there. So, because they have a
It's their
restaurant right
building.
there.
They're building too.
Yeah,
But you can't really, it's an alleyway.
But yeah.
I think they're thinking of all the events and people going up to the window. I don't know,
Okay,
I could be
hold on.
wrong, like I said.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
know.
all right, anyway, moving along here.
Not like
Conduct a bidders conference for issue, what? Conduct a bidders conference after issuing a RFP for a project.
Oh, that's just our meeting that we have after we get the RFPs, and then we have that meeting where they can all come, and if we have questions for them, I think that's what that means.
Okay, and I think that's good, because that
Yeah.
gives us a better idea of what they're
Yeah,
asking for.
I kind of
But they
like,
should be limited to
um,
like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to present, because some of them went on forever.
honestly, what I would like to see is us review them first.
Yes.
Let us have, because I feel like when we're discussing things, I think they're feeling like we're attacking them, and it's not that we're attacking them. We are just, okay, maybe I didn't understand it, and you have a different view, or you or Peggy might have. So I'd like to discuss, and when we're trying to discuss, then they jump in and they kind of get
They
defensively.
do. Mhm.
And that's not what, and I know that caused a lot of friction last year, and things going on. Yeah, because it was deemed, and people think that we were against them, and it wasn't that we were against, at least I'm speaking for me, against them. I was just asking because I've seen things that didn't match up. And then later, maybe have them come in and say, okay, X, Y, and Z, why do you guys have this?
I think that's a better approach.
I would prefer that.
Because that's
yeah.
how I felt, and then they're going and being like, well, she was saying this and she was saying that, and I'm not being the bad person. We have a job to do, a task to review them
Mhm.
and
And
look at,
only so much money.
yes,
Exactly.
and it's not, we're not being offensively, and I mean, I've asked Lindsay's questions and Lindsay has asked me questions, and I don't take it an offense like, oh, she's picking on me, she's trying to not get me, we're doing a job, and I feel like when they are here, they get really defensively, and I think that we need to,
And they do have, they should have, you know, after we review these and before we grant.
yes,
So we should have a review process,
Just
then a
us.
conversation
yes.
with the bidders,
Yeah,
and then make our decision.
so
It
that
has to be a
we
three-part.
need to find out if we
I
can
agree.
have, as a committee, if we can have a closed meeting. That's the question, because all of our meetings are public and they should be, but
And it's just kind of together notes.
But we could call it an executive meeting.
that's what
to
I'm saying. I
review.
think that we need
think
an
we can do
executive
that.
meeting to review, and we
Review.
need to ask Jackie if we can just add that in there, because I agree, it is hard.
And,
I feel
and
like
it's not
We
like,
don't get all of our answers.
and maybe
you know.
like also, because I know there's been times where I'm like, oh, this, and then you know, you could say, oh, it's right here, and then be like, oh, I missed that, or oh, now I understand, and then they take it like she's reaching for something, or they get very
Yeah.
defensive, and that's not it. We're just
Well.
trying to review everybody's stuff, and you know, I always want to hear other
Yeah,
members' opinions
yeah,
or suggestions, and then
Mhm.
maybe we come up with a solution, and then, you know,
yes, I agree.
That's a very.
and
good
that way
point.
we don't have the same
I don't want,
questions.
because the time, I think it was the first time when I was on the LTAC committee that we went through that process. It took for doggone ever.
It was.
Yes,
And it was
That
kind of,
was the
kind
issue
of,
that I
it
was
was
into.
really, really tough.
It was
But I think we do need to have it
executive.
as, we need to review the applications, we don't need to have the people there.
Yes, for
But
that
then we
one.
do need,
when we vote, I think
Yeah.
then we
that
could
would be
have
the
a,
third time. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we should have one time where we can talk to the people who give us they brought in their proposals.
Mhm.
And we've reviewed them, we have questions, and we ask the questions at a conference,
Yeah.
yes.
you know, what,
Okay.
you know,
Mhm.
and then we make our recommendations to the council.
Yes. Yeah. So an action item is at the executive meeting to
Yeah.
review these
Yeah, I
proposals.
think we
Okay.
need- does that make sense to you, Peg?
It does. But speaking of which, there's something that I haven't seen here, and that is, what do we expect from the people submitting the RFP? In the past, when RFPs came in, I mean, I've seen it with as little as, you know, I expect to make this much money. I'm going to put 100 heads in beds, and this is what I'm doing, and no supporting documentation.
Well,
And-
those don't go very far.
Those don't go very far.
Those don't
Okay.
go very far.
Yeah.
You gotta, it's a very thick packet of
It is.
information.
Yeah, and I
So
know
it's
in the
gotten-
past, we've adjusted the RFP, and
Yeah.
Lindsay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know we've asked to, in a section to put, they have to show us pictures.
Yes, we have asked for that.
Yeah.
And what
We
about
don't always-
budget and
Yeah.
how
Oh,
they
yeah,
spend
all of
money?
that. The
Okay,
packet, we should get you a copy of the packet. I think we all should know what is in the RFP.
Yeah, cause I've seen some packets where they're just like
Like
this.
one piece of
That's
paper.
what I have acted on in the past, yes.
Oh.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
we
and so
don't-
now I
no,
think that
No.
now the packets, well, at least since I've been on, the packets have been getting a little bit bigger. But for me, if we're giving people money, I wanna make sure that they're 100%, they know what they're doing, they're gonna be doing an event. Kind of where they're gonna be publicizing, cause it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna advertise. Okay, but where?
But
I wanna
where?
know your plan. And I know Cinco's RFP is a little bit different than the other ones, and I think we fixed it, cause now
Is the signature event.
signatures
are
events
The
are
packets.
different.
Mhm.
But I think that if we're gonna give money to X, Y, and Z people, it should kind of be the same, because I wanna know their plan. Do they have a plan, or is it just a random person that has this idea, but they've never done an event before? I
And what
wanna
do
know.
we expect from them? Do we expect them to do some of the fundraising on their own? Do we expect them to have some money invested in their project? I'm asking that because we're looking at putting this procedure into place. And so should there be a line item here for something like that?
I know in the signature event, it just said you have to have a budget. We have to have a budget.
This is on the regular one too.
Does
I
it?
did that, yeah.
Yeah, it does say on there, you have to have, like, you have to turn in your bank statement.
So,
Do we
there is a
expect them to
follow-up. There is a
participate?
follow-up.
Yeah, and I think, that it's changed a lot since the past.
It's been 14 years, so.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I
it's
think
changed a
that,
lot.
yeah, I know Deb,
That's why I think we should get you a copy of it, so you can see what actually is in what the proposals are, how much paper these different.
and there's letter of recommendations that they need to submit.
Oh, okay.
There's what is it called? References.
There's
Yeah.
references.
They have to have references from people and
Certain
then it
things
just.
like if they're non-charity, if they're
Charity,
nonprofit,
Yes,
those kind of are.
they
they
have to
money
show
raising?
their meeting minutes. There is a big process of what.
We definitely need to send you a copy of one so you can check it out. 'Cause it
Do
is
we need
quite a
to
bit
address
different.
that in this document? Do we need to
I
address?
don't think so because it's separate.
Okay, awesome.
I
Thank you.
don't think we need to in this one. But we could if we should maybe as an item for our agenda to review what the RFP includes, just so we're all knowledgeable about it.
It's
But
not
then-
And
on
maybe
there.
just a line here that says complete the RFP process, and
Well,
th-
these are
that be something
action
else?
items for us, though.
Okay, all
This
right.
is not for the,
No,
for the
but
bidders.
I think she's right, though. I think that it does need to, because it says establish a rolling 5-year funding plan. I think along with that, we
Where's
also need
that
to, it's lower, sorry.
Oh.
But I
That's
agree with what she's saying, is it should be that we, however many years, we need to review the RFP process every year too, because.
So maybe that's a bullet here. that-
Yes, yeah, I think that we also need
Because
to
I know
review that.
last year, I know we reviewed it a little bit just because with the pandemic. We
Yeah,
kind of switched some things. And I think with the recent activities that happened at Cinco, we probably will have to review, like add some things in there.
Yeah,
For
fortunately, yes.
For what
Yeah.
happens in case of unexpected, extraordinary conditions.
Yes, and
Something that-
who, and I know, this is kind of what I'm fighting.
yeah.
Support from the city, and is the city gonna publish something? And I know it was a real tough thing and I got a lot of slack from it because I posted it that we were no longer having the event.
Mhm.
And a lot of people didn't agree, and they didn't take it serious, and they said, well, you closed it, it was not the city. But a lot of people don't understand that we are contracted with the city, and the city expects me, and I'm just speaking for myself,
Sure.
expects me to make the best decision.
Mhm.
And you
Um,
did.
And
You were
it's not
wonderful.
just what I wanna do. I sat there for hours collaborating with Chief,
Yeah.
trying to figure out, and I don't think I need to explain to
No.
all these
No.
people
No.
out there,
No.
that we were there till 3, 4 in the morning, trying to figure out how can we keep this event open? And if we can keep this safe, there was no way we could,
No.
and I did the best decision,
And again, you were working with the chief,
yes.
our lead safety person in the community.
Yes, it wasn't just
And-
like, hey, you know what, I decided, I'm closing.
I'm just gonna close it.
Yeah, and no, and I had to think of everything, and a lot of people just think, oh, well, she just wants to do what she wants to do.
That's.
No, I have to
no.
think of, I'm
It's not
representing
representing.
the city, I'm
Yeah.
representing our community. I have to make the best interest, and I
So-
think,
That has to be, like you said, that has to be an item as part of, in
Yeah.
event of,
We
need
review,
to-
we need to review the contract, the recipient, because whoever gets they get a contract, whoever gets the LTAC funds, and I think
Yes.
that maybe we need to review that also. So I think that should be in the action items for us, because I'm being on both parts.
yes.
Like you're representing the city, so if
Mm-hmm.
you review it and you think like, well, this isn't fair on part of the city, and if we review it and say
Mhm.
that's not fair on the part of the people doing the event,
Mhm.
and Peggy's the same way, it's like,
Mhm.
I think it also needs to be the annual, we review the contract.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't take long if we did it every
hearing nothing changes, that's fine.
That's
But
fine.
at least
It would
that-
just be an action
And I
item
feel-
that we should
yeah.
do, yeah.
And I feel like I've been the guinea pig.
Yeah, you have.
Really, I'm so
because-
sorry about that.
Because,
I know
the
the word.
pandemic happened and then so
Yeah.
it's like, then, you have yours in December, so she's like, oh, I'm cleared. So now that I had, this thing happen,
Yeah.
now you guys, I'm pretty sure, are gonna have to take
It's-
different action or do
Mhm.
different things. So that's why I really do feel like I've been the guinea pig.
You really have, good
Um,
gracious.
And honestly,
And the Rotary too.
I,
Oh, no.
Although
With
both
all
of
this-
her projects, you got them all started, got them all ready to turn
Yes.
the key, we're coming in,
Yeah.
and boom.
yeah. And it's really difficult, and I think that we need to have to maybe in the contract, if they're, and I was really lost, because I'm like, this has never
Yeah.
happened, I don't know, do I need to post it, does the city need to post it?
Mhm.
And it was very, I posted it, and I got a lot of slack from it,
Mhm.
and I think that, okay, if the city were to post it and I shared it, but then either way, I was doomed, because when we said we were closing that day, I did not share it. Just because I was busy doing other things, and people were being like, oh, you didn't care, but it's like, you don't know what I was doing at the moment, and I could, I don't need to explain.
You shouldn't have to. explain.
But I thought, well, as
And
long as the
anybody-
city and PD shared it,
Uh-huh.
it's good enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's just kind of something that we need in there,
Yeah.
like,
No, yeah.
if a recent thing happens, like it did,
Just adding in the
city,
res-
the city get involved, because it is city
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
So
That's right,
we're
it's
just
really
kind of
tricky.
doing, we're hosting it for the city, and they're expecting us to make the best decision for the town.
So, yeah,
'Cause, you know-
yeah.
So I agree,
That there's
That
something,
we need
because
to have-
honestly,
Gosh.
I feel alone in this whole thing,
Mhm.
I've been attacked, I've been
Mhm.
threatened, it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm
You
so
know,
sorry that you've had to go through that, I really
yeah,
am.
like every
And I
day.
didn't really, I mean, I knew, I think subliminally, I knew that you were going through an awful lot of hurt on that. And do apologize on the event of the city if we didn't give you enough support, because we should have, if we didn't.
Yeah.
So that's why, and I'm just speaking because I don't want that to happen to what I'm going through. I don't want to see the other events go
For
through that.
everything else.
So I think
Yes.
that makes, that speaks well to the point that we should, as an active action item for us,
Mhm.
that we review the RFPs, and then we also review the recipients' contracts and annually, and that we include something in there in the event of extraordinary conditions.
Yeah.
And, and as we review it, we may come up with some other things we might want to change. But if we have the opportunity to change it annual, or at least review it annually,
Mhm.
we've learned a lot of lessons since the pandemic of
Yes.
what can happen, and
Yeah.
best ways and wrong ways to deal with things. So yeah, I think that has to be an action item for the LTAC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's-
I had a lot of questions like, okay, well, I signed this contract saying that I wouldn't get reimbursed, but yet I spent all this money and it doesn't say nothing about a tragic incident that happened, so,
Yeah.
mean-
There was no coverage for you.
There was
yes,
nothing.
there was nothing in it. And I get it, this has never happened before,
Mhm.
so, like I said, I felt like the guinea pig. But I don't want that to happen to, like, the farm implement parade or any other signature event.
Mhm.
I wanna make sure that there's a plan and that person feels
What's so,
100
what's so crazy? What is so crazy?
supported.
A couple of weeks later, we had the Cinco de Mayo, we had lots of people coming into town, it was huge. A couple of weeks later, we had the Asparagus Fest over at the museum. But it was just a little bitty thing.
Mhm.
And we had more security at that, a little tiny event, than I believe that we had at the Cinco de Mayo. One of the things, and this is just probably ought to not be recorded, but I really felt like, and I know that you had security out there, that's part of what you do. You always had.
I
some sort
had
of-
more, I had more security than I have in previous
In
years,
previous years.
just because I knew the activity that had been going on.
Yeah.
So I did have more security than usual.
Uh-huh. But who knew
Yeah,
that that
and
would be a killing ground,
yeah,
I cry every time I go past the Bonnie Dunbar statue over there, because the lines are still there.
Yeah.
Of where people are.
Yeah.
Just makes me ill.
Yeah, so I just wanna make sure that we get that.
Yeah.
That
And
we're
it's-
not just to dole out the money. I just don't want LTAC to be like, I
Yeah,
feel
we-
like we have
we
we're
have-
giving out but I feel like it should also be, we need to have some support and protection for the people
Yeah.
who are willing to put in the time and effort
I
to put
agree.
these events
I
together, so
absolutely
it's
agree.
important, so
So
yeah.
Peg, you on board with it, that?
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
absolutely.
Okay, so some of our notes here, let's see, do you want to share them with Jackie or?
Yeah.
Okay, because you've got your notes on them and I've
I
got
think
mine.
so.
So, you know me, I'm a chronic note taker, so.
Yeah,
And I did, and in there too, and I know some people, they get discouraged, because when we tell them, sorry, you're not eligible for the, for the funding. I know, I think last year, or it could be, I did let them know, hey, Walmart does have the grant money. I know Miss Sunnyside just received $1,000 through the grant money because they applied. I did let them know, hey, you guys are eligible to go,
Mhm.
it's up already, go apply.
So we can put people in contact with other resources.
Yes.
Other funding,
yeah,
Yes.
and we
you can.
should create a list of those things. Maybe that's an action item we ought to, we shouldn't just
Well-
turn them away without giving them some sort of, sorry, maybe
Kind of.
next year.
I mean, I do my own, I look up every possible thing for us to
Okay.
get funded, so I
Yeah.
kind of feel like some of it has
And
to be
some
on
peop-
those.
On those folks.
Yes,
okay.
and then too, if maybe some people don't know, like, I don't know where to look, like, what,
Just Google it.
I'm just kind of like,
Google resources. yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
lost
so-
sometimes when it comes to like, so I was asked like, hey, I saw you did this, like,
Yeah,
how did you, and I'm not, and I guess it's true, it comes from them, like, I would have to approach you and be like, hey, I saw you got
yeah.
this funding, where to go? Oh, Google this,
Mhm,
I do see that.
okay.
Yeah.
So anything else then to come before us this morning? We will turn these, our note items here to Jackie and let Lindsay, if you take care of that, please.
Yeah, I can do what I have, my notes.
Okay, I'm sure,
I think they're about the same.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you want to give mine, just to have mine there
Yeah.
too? I'll need another copy of the thing again, but,
oh,
Okay. Is there another one? Oh, yeah, perfect, there you
oh,
go.
good. Okay, I just want the draft policy there.
there you go.
Okay. I think I remember all my concerns. All right, so Peggy, anything else from you today, or are you good?
Good.
We got future items to talk about. The policy, we're gonna talk about at our July meeting and review the budget.
Yep.
So we'll probably adopt our policy at the next meeting. And if we're still need some adjustments to it, we can always do that at the at a subsequent meeting. Does that make sense? Yes, okay, so without objection, we'll adjourn the meeting at
13.
11:13. Okay, thank you everyone for your time this morning. Your input is all good, I think. And I think we're doing some good work here. So have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.